Hello, how you doing? I'm Charlie Baquet. Welcome to my show. All four of you. I'm kidding. All six of you. Anyway, so a little bit about me. I come from mixed parents. Yeah, my mother wanted me and my father didn't. I wasn't my father's favorite, and I'm an only child, so go figure. I am the baby of the family. Not the youngest, just the most immature. Anyway, again, thanks for tuning in. And my show is going to be basically, I'm Cuban, I'm Spanish, and there's a phrase in Spanish that says, con todo un poco, which means a little bit of everything. So that's going to be a little bit of everything. That's what I want to do. Some comic stuff, some interviews, scratch a little bit beneath the surface, keep it fun, keep it entertaining, and that's about it. So, I'm going to introduce you now my first guest. He's a comedian, very funny guy, Mr. Charles S. Smith. How you doing, Charles?
Hi.
You don't like Charlie? Just Charlie's fine? Okay,
When I was 15 years old, that's when the last time I was called Charlie.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. So now, you've been doing comedy for how many years?
17.
17 years. Now, what got you into it?
Being around my family and acting stupid, like you said, you're the baby of the family. I'm the baby of the family, and just laughing and watching things on television,
Right.
like Benny Hill, the Benny Hill Show,
Right.
and just
What were some of your favorite comedians growing up that kept you inspired?
oh my goodness, Henny Youngman, Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor. That's it.
Okay. So, when did you get on the very first time you got on stage, and where was the club? Do you recall?
Yes. First time I did it was over at Chuckles Comedy Club in Mineola.
Okay.
And I went up there and
And how old were you at that time?
I was about, I would say about maybe 36.
36.
36.
Okay. And how did that was your very first time? Was
Very
it
first time.
It was an open mic
It was an open mic,
Okay.
yes, on a Sunday.
on a Sunday.
Yes.
And how did you do?
I bombed miserably.
Okay, that's usually a common occurrence with first times. But you got up there again.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And how did you do the second time?
The second time, bombed again.
You bombed again.
Yep.
When was the first time you didn't bomb? That you felt, hey, I did good. I can do this.
Probably after, I would say, about maybe 3 years later.
3 years later. And how long was the set?
The set was
at that point.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Because I was doing my impersonation of Bill Cosby.
Right.
He does the bit about the dentist, and I rehearsed that tape, and I listened to it over and over again. Got there to the club, knew exactly what I went. They introduced me. I went up there. I started talking about it, and my mind went. I couldn't remember anything after that.
That happens a lot.
People in the audience was like. The green room, some of the comedians in the green room, they were like laughing. They knew exactly who I was doing. I didn't say it was from Bill Cosby.
Right.
And I just tried it again, and my mind went blank again, and that was it. I just bombed again, and I walked off the stage. And then the next thing I know, some of the comedians, they grabbed me playfully and put me up against the wall and said, we know you're doing Eddie Murphy. We know you're doing Bill Cosby. Don't.
Okay.
Do your own material. Write your own material.
Right.
Because we're watching.
Exactly. Okay. So let's get behind the comedian a little bit. What is it you do for work?
I work at the Long Island Marriott.
Doing?
I'm the lead houseman of the Long Island Marriott, and it's a crazy job. It's slavery part 2.
Slavery part 2. Sounds
Yeah.
a punchline is coming.
No, the punchline is going to be me walking away from that.
Walking away from. How long have you done that?
I did that for about 6 years now.
Wow. So what do you call it? A bad day at stand up is better than a good day at work.
Yes.
Is that what they say?
Bingo.
Bingo. Okay. So what else? Let's get. You used to live in. I think we mentioned to me that you lived in Roosevelt.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, is it Roosevelt or Roosevelt?
It's Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. Okay.
Roosevelt.
How long have you lived in Roosevelt? How long? So tell me, well, how many years? And you still live there?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
Okay.
I got out of there. I live in Westbury now.
Ah.
Roosevelt was back in the day, back in the 70s. It was very nice, very nice. Nice neighborhood,
Okay.
nice people around.
In the 70s.
On the good side of Roosevelt.
And the good
too.
side.
Yes.
Now, there's still a good side and a bad side of Roosevelt, or
Yes.
okay.
It's getting better every month.
Oh, nice. When I first met you, it was at a open mic. I don't know, several years ago, and I remember you saying that it was in Belmore. You live in Westbury, which is a little distance away, but you riding your bike there.
Yes.
What was that about? Why?
If I didn't have any money, I didn't have no money, so I just hop on the bike and just ride all the way over to
Right.
Belmore Bean Cafe.
There you go. There you go. All right, interesting. So where do you expect the stand up to lead? Do you eventually see yourself getting on maybe on a talk show or network TV? Those are your aspirations. Those are your goals.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you ready to do your a set for us?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Charles S. Smith doing some stand up for us. Go ahead, Charles.
Okay, now.
There he is.
Okay, all right. Well, my mom, she takes me aside. She tells me that my aunt has gingivitis, and she's coming over to the house, and that means all of her teeth are to be taken out. So I'm thinking, oh, 4 of them? Really? Yeah, my Aunt Edie has 4 teeth. They're right up front. She has 2 on the top, she has 2 on the bottom. When she smiles, she looks like a Bugs Bunny. And she's also that type of aunt that like to come to the house and kiss relatives in the house. You have relatives like this? Come over here, Charles. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. I just look at it. Close my eyes and start clicking my heels. This is only a dream. This is only a dream. Then my father comes behind me and slaps me in the back of the head. Pow! Charles, what's wrong with you? How many times have I told you? Respect your elders. Now get over there and kiss your aunt. So I start walking over my aunt. Over here, my father say, better you than me. So now that I get over to my aunt, now that my aunt don't have no teeth, she can't give me a normal kiss. This is the kiss she gives me. Come here, Charles, you gotten so big. Come here, come here.
You could
Ew, ew. Disgusting, ew. Anyone in TV land ever have a relative with no teeth that love to give you a kiss? Doesn't it feel like 2 pieces of bologna being rubbed up against your cheek? It's disgusting. It needs to be outlawed. But now she has teeth. Now she has teeth. Now that she has them, she has false teeth. She leaves them everywhere. She leaves one in the bedroom. She leaves one in the kitchen. She leaves one in the sink. One time I went to the bathroom to brush my teeth, and there floating is her teeth. So I asked her, Edie, your teeth are floating in the sink. She comes to the bathroom. They're in there soaking. So what? But I'm brushing my teeth. I want to brush my teeth. She goes, oh, well, when you finish yours, do those too. Not good. Not good. Oh, man. I got stopped by a cop recently. Cop stops me, gets out of his car, comes over to me and says, let me see your identification. So I gave my ID and I asked, what's the problem? He said, we're looking for someone that fits your description. Stealing cars. Never occurred to the cop I was riding my bicycle at the time. I'm looking at the officer, I'm like, Goober, I'm riding a bike, an e-bike. What am I going to do? Take a car, put the bike in the trunk, and drive off? You're an idiot, officer. Officer idiot, that's what you should be called. You are so stupid. I wanted to say even more, but I was thinking it. I would have said it, but I forgot my cell phone. Then he goes in his back pocket, pulls out handcuffs, and starts walking over to me. All of a sudden, the squad car starts to speak. The perp that you're looking for is wearing black shirt, black pants, black jacket. Perp's Caucasian. Perp's Caucasian. Now he's giving me that look like he just messed up. He's giving me that look like... So, where are you off to? I said, hey, well, I'm on my way to do the Charlie Banquet show on Long Island. He said, oh, you're a comedian? Yes. You're not going to talk about this, are you? I'm out.
All right, Charles, wait, before you go, you're all set? All right, sit back down. So I want to ask you, I have a trials and tribulations segment. I want to know maybe what was a low point in your life and how you overcame it, and the high point of your life, and what keeps you going, what keeps you motivated, what gets you up in the morning. So it's first, what was a rough patch in your life?
Okay, the rough part of my life. Okay, that's a new one. I like that one. Okay. Let me see. Losing jobs, 9-to-5 jobs for stupid things. And then
When you say stupid things, give us an example of what you call stupid.
stupid things as into getting in fights.
You have getting in fights. You have a bad temper, or is it
No, it's just the stupidness of people.
the stupidness of people?
People open up their mouth and they just put their foot in it, and it's just like annoying, and it just goes over and over until the point where it's like you got to say something to let them know that you had enough. And if it comes to fisticuffs, so be it.
When was the last time? How old are you, if I may ask? Okay.
You're not supposed to.
Okay, don't ask that. So when was the last time you got into fisticuffs? Is this
58.
something? You're 58.
I'm
When was the
58.
last time you got into fisticuffs? Or very like violent exchange?
Oh, a couple of years ago.
Just a couple of years ago. Okay, and when we say violent exchange, you fisticuffs, you punches were exchanged.
Yeah.
Okay, and is this something that you regret? If you look back and say
No.
you don't regret it.
No.
And what came of that? Did the police call? Was it something?
No,
No
there
police.
was
Just
no police calls.
you just settled it between you two.
Well, it's more like 3.
It was 3 of you.
Yeah.
You against 2, or
No,
just
pretty much. But it was just the person that I was swinging on
Yes.
just so happened to have one of his bodyguards with him, his best friend.
His best friend. So what ultimately is the end result of this? Does someone get hurt, or just walk away, just apologize?
No apologies.
No apologies,
But I walked away.
Okay.
But a
Okay.
couple of years later, this particular person shows up again by himself. So
But you said this happened a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So how could it be a couple of years? A couple of years later would be today. Would be now.
yes.
So this happened recently then.
yes.
And what happened now? What happened?
he didn't have
He didn't have his bodyguard.
So he was trying to kiss up. Hi, I'm so. I don't, and I was like, no. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly what you're about.
Okay, so this bad temper that you have, is that something you've been trying to work on to try to like, or you feel
No,
if
it's
someone's deserving, they're gonna get your wrath, and that's
No, it's. I'm more mature than
Okay,
that now.
okay.
It's like it's
All
more of.
okay. So what's a high point in your life? What gets you up in the morning? What do you look forward to?
Stand-up comedy.
Stand-up
That's it.
comedies. Okay. And how often do you perform?
I perform at least out of 31 days. I would say at least 25.
All right, well, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful.
I
thing.
need time off because
All
there's
right.
comics that will try
Okay,
to
well,
drive me crazy.
I wish you luck, and keep maturing and keep performing and keep living life. And thank you for coming here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. So now I'm going to introduce my next guest. I actually met him at a poetry workshop many moons ago. Many moons ago. Many. Okay, I'll stop with the moons. Anyways, a good friend of mine, poet, doctor, retired educator who's impacted many lives, some for the better. My friend Greg Moglia. Come to this. Yep, any way you want. Here he comes.
How are you?
Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
If I don't fall over.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
How many books you have published?
Well, I got 4 published, and a 5th one I've got pretty well edited. I just have
Okay.
to get down to it.
All right. So let's say someone wants to write a poem. Uh, what's the starting point? Do you need a muse? Do you need something tragic that happens to you? What motivates you to sit down on a blank piece of paper and start writing?
Well, the difference, based on what you told me, is that some people think they're writing a poem. Poem is really super hard. And they're basically writing a memoir. The things you told me about mostly are memoirs. The poem has to have some other part to it that when a person finishes reading says, oh, it says this, and I got a laugh or I got a chill out of it, but it also means this other thing. And in order to get to the other thing, you got to work. You got to revise. You got to do something. Very rarely does a poem come out really sweet right off.
Right. Oh, that's rare in anything, I think. So you were going to recite some poems for us, and you have your poems right there.
Yep.
So let's hear them, and then
Right,
we'll
right.
continue.
Do you want me to
Yeah, I
stand
want you
up?
to stand up.
Okay. Okay.
Unless you'd rather sit. Would you rather sit?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, stand up and if you want
Let's
to.
see whatever comes across. I think maybe sitting down will help.
Okay.
Just what I had mentioned earlier about a poem has to have a second level. It fits with this very first poem because
Okay.
at the very first poem, you can take it at one level as a possibly a
Yeah, well,
humorous
When
poem.
we start standing up, because that way we can see your face.
Oh, okay. Is that better? Well, okay.
Okay.
But at a secondary level, you see more.
Do you want to take off your scarf, or it's up to you?
You know that's one of the things I was going to ask you. Right.
Yeah, let's take off your
Plus
scarf.
the hat, the Yankee hat.
Make yourself at home.
Make myself
Whatever you want. Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Dear Diary, I never got a chance as a teen to confess, so I hope it's not too late. You know, I like to cry, especially at movies, even those with Arnold. Women say they love men who show their feelings, but although they will hold my hand for a time, deep inside I hear them thinking, weak little shit. Then there's Maggie and the very warm first night. But 2 months later trouble seems I cover my mouth with my hand as I talk. She reached across the table, pulled it down, said, speak up. Wow, Diary, someone who really needs to run the ship. So it almost ended until she called and said, well, it's over, but we can still be fuck buddies. You know, from Sex in the City. The best thing we do is sex, so why not just that? Dear Diary, it sounded good to me. So I call and Maggie says, fine, 8 o'clock in the city. But wait, what about dinner? No, she says. Are you sure? I say, yes, she says. Well, Diary, at the diner I ate alone, and it felt strange. Grilled chicken sandwich, no help. Left me to stare at an empty place setting. But at 8 o'clock I show up, and boom, we are in bed. And boom, we are out of bed. And boom, I am home. And boom, it's really open. It's really over. And I think, oh no, my God, it's me that wants the flowers, the candlelight, the sipping of the wine. Dear Diary, that night I gobbled 2 pints of Haagen-Dazs chocolate, watched Oprah late, a program on why men don't understand. I began to cry because finally I understood every word. But this is called My Red Dress. Hottest item in my closet. What does this male wear? Look at her in that red dress. Check out that cling, those curves. Well, buddy, what about us? Is it the package between the legs? The first time I heard a lover say, "Oh, I know about your size," I wondered how. Pants too tight? The same lover talked about butts, mockingly about my friend Clark. "He has no butt," she said. I think, what could he wear? Football pads? So easy for a woman. A bit of cleavage, even pretend push-me-up cleavage. A peak of skin at the shoulder, a sliver at the back. We men helplessly stand at attention, forced to ask, what do we strive for? My God, we have no red dress, no easy call to the wild, and I forgot their shoes. Everyone of them has at least one pair. Steal a glance in that closet. There they are. Fuck me pumps. Ever hear of a fuck me loafer? A fuck me shirt and tie? Where's my red dress? Where's my fuck me pumps? Woman, you lucky bunch, you. Poem is I don't know. Look at any Match.com profile, and every woman knows what she wants. Honesty, a friend, sense of humor, on and on, no sense of doubt, not a hint. I thought I'd give them what they say they needed. Honesty, funny, slow walks in the park, all that stuff. And things didn't work out. Left me full of doubt about them, about myself. And meanwhile, the sketches stayed the same. But then just a month ago, here's Crystal, her profile. She's not sure of the kind of guy she's looking for. On the phone I say, You're not sure? She says, I hate to admit it, but yes. At first meeting at Starbucks, I decide to test her. Tall, grande, vente. She says, I don't know. Yes. We rush into each other's arms, swoon to the coffee shop floor. At her place just before bed, I say, Your favorite position? She says, I don't know. Yes, we go at it. And after I ask, was it good for you? She says, I don't know. And I think, damn, I'm in love. This is called Christmas Eve. She surprised me, the rooming house neighbor, knocking on the door, flask in hand, teeth at decay, skin sagging on her face. Was that a wobble in her walk? Share a drink, she said. How are you spending the holidays? A stillness. At my brother's, I said, but thank you. On this loneliness of nights, I had been plight, yet after closing the door on a retreat down the hall, suddenly a silence everywhere. And I finish with a little Yankee talk. I guess I became a Yankee fan, certainly the influence of my father. A little Yankee talk. I tell my friend the Yankees lose and I hit the donuts. The world fails me. I need sweet help. Same love for those Yankees as Dad had. His journey into dementia, and we talk Yankees. Brought up close, brought us to a listen. At the nursing home, he made a lady friend, said of her, one day she just disappeared. I said, well, the Yankees won 7-1. Dad says, any homers? Another day, and he says, I miss Mother. And I say, and the Yankees lost their 4th straight. Wow, he says. For 7 years it went like that, and every time I left, goodbye, Dad, and off to my life, I tell my friend, we never did say I love you. My friend smiles, says, you talk Yankees.
Well, it's been great doing this with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Anytime.
Oh, beautiful. I'll pick you up on that.
Yep.
Thank you, Greg Moglia. All right, my next guest coming up, he's a comedian. He was an amateur wrestler, which is very interesting. Different kind of a guy. I met him, I don't know, several months ago, and he just came up to me and shook my hand and said, I wanted to say hi and meet you, and I thought that was really sweet, and so now I have him on my show, you see? Pays. Anyway, Johnny Lambros.
Charlie.
There he is.
How
Nice
are you,
to
sir?
see you.
Pleasure. Mr. Poet. Nice to meet you, sir. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
See, he's still into the wrestling.
Yeah, I guess. Wow,
So-
I look huge on camera, don't I?
I'm very skinny. So to say you're unique, I would say is an understatement. Do you think yourself unique?
Most kids were dropped, well, most comics, I should say, were dropped on their heads. I was tossed across the room.
You were tossed across the room.
Yeah.
I hear you. So you got into wrestling, and we
Yes.
spoke that you have like entertainment in your veins.
Yes.
And you love to entertain.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, it led you to wrestling.
Yeah.
And tell us a little about that. Like you said, the wrestling you were doing was amateur. It's like the minor leagues compared to the major leagues. You were in the minor leagues.
Well, it's still pro wrestling. Amateur wrestling is what you see in high schools and colleges, and
Okay.
it's complicated. But I can see why someone would think that the independent circuit on Long Island would be considered amateur. you know.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but a lot of people say it's not real. I mean, and they say that it's it's fake, and it's just to put on. In fact, I'm kind of the guy that believes that. You guys are just phony, and don't hit me. No, but there is it's a production. It's go ahead.
It is.
Elaborate on that.
It's predetermined entertainment. While it may be, quote unquote, not real,
Okay.
that doesn't mean what you see in the ring is not real. You
Right.
know, the guys who still do it today, and the guys who did it when I was in it, they take risks and put their body in harm's way every single time.
Absolutely.
To put on a highly entertaining
Right.
physical performance. So
There have been high-profile wrestlers who have been hurt
Yes.
badly. Some have been killed, right?
Yeah.
What are some of them have been killed? What was one of the guys?
Owen Hart.
Was there a guy with a crown? I forgot what his name was, but Owen Hart. Maybe it was Owen Hart. Owen Hart got killed. How did he get killed?
He was doing an entrance to the ring. It didn't even happen during the match. It happened before the match.
Okay.
He was doing a superhero character, the Blue Blazer, I think is
Right.
what the name was. And part of the uniqueness of the character was, while most wrestlers would come out through the curtain and walk down the aisleway, he would project down from the rafters by like one of those cables. Well, one night he projected down and the cable snapped while he was midair, and he fell and landed chest first on the turnbuckle pad, which is not soft by any means, and went into immediate cardiac arrest and died.
Wow, and he wasn't old. He was what? His
30s?
Wow.
Yeah.
You can sit back if you like, make yourself comfortable, so we could get
Sure.
to see your face there.
I guess.
We don't want to deny all those women out there. Great, you can sit here, but so let's see. So in late 2016, 2017, you left pro wrestling to pursue podcasting.
Yes.
A little bit of like what we're doing here,
Yeah.
and you did some shows. How did that go?
Well, I did the John Sawyer show, which John Sawyer, of course, would be in my second ring name.
Oh.
Right here in Paradise Studios, actually.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So I know Mr. Lucera very well.
Okay.
I'm sure he regrets meeting me. But yeah, I did the show here for about a year or so, maybe close to a year. And then I did some other podcasting ventures, but yeah, it wasn't that long, looking back at it, probably about 3 years tops.
Right.
Yeah.
And then did you miss that performing in front of people, live
Yeah,
in front of people?
Yeah, that's why.
Is that something you still miss? Is this something that, I mean, is there like an age where someone can't be doing this? It's like, can you be 60 years old and be are there pro wrestlers who are 60 years old?
Are there older wrestlers?
Yeah.
There are.
Well, Hulk Hogan is what now?
He's in his 70s, but he doesn't wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
He's
But
more of a personality.
Who's the guy that was the governor of Minnesota?
Jesse Ventura?
I heard he's looking to make a comeback.
Not as a wrestler,
Not as-
more as like a commentator,
Oh,
like
yeah?
the ringside reporter
Oh.
guys, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a limit. Father Time catches up to everybody,
Yes.
so there is a time where guys got to be smart enough to say, enough's enough.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see the purpose of me getting back in there because, as I've told you in previous
Yeah.
conversations, the dynamics of pro wrestling have changed. It used
Right.
to be very much storytelling based and psychology based, and guys didn't have to do 5 million things to get a reaction from the crowd.
Right.
Right. It was very simple but effective. Now you got guys doing jumps and dives and killing each other for no reason,
Right.
and it's just
Exactly.
anyone out there who is a wrestling fan. If you watch a tape from like early '90s compared to AEW today, you'll know exactly what I mean. You'll see the dramatic difference.
Right. Now you said, according to your bio here, you were diagnosed with high-functioning Asperger's syndrome at a young age,
Yes.
and a lifelong battle with depression and anxiety.
Yes.
You want to just go into that? What? Is that something you think you were born with, or is something that life brought on, like circumstances of life brought on?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably life brought on the whole depression thing. I mean, I had a good childhood growing up. I'm
Right.
not going to sit here and say I had it bad,
Right.
but I was different. I was always a bit socially awkward.
Well, let's go into what Asperger's is.
Asperger's is a social skill disorder. It makes you socially inept, or socially awkward, as I would like to say.
Okay.
It messes up your ability to pick up on certain social cues, and it distorts your view on everything: the world, how things are going around you, how things are going, everywhere. I had it worse, a lot worse when I was younger, but I like to think now, being 31 years old, that I've gotten a good control over it.
Is there like medication for that?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
There is therapy though.
Yeah, therapy is-
which I've been through a lot of. So
Okay. Okay, great.
yeah.
And on early March, early March 2019, you attempted suicide.
Not gonna dive into the details on that, but
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So, how did you manage to overcome that? That's like a talk about valleys. I don't think it's much worse.
As
than
crazy
that.
as it sounds, that was the mental reset moment that I needed.
Okay.
Well, not that I intended on it happening. I was just at a low point to where,
Right.
you know,
Is that like when they say when you hit rock bottom?
Pretty much.
Sometimes you need
Pretty
rock
much.
bottom
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
and so
Yeah.
you managed to crawl out of there
Yeah.
and get your life back in order.
yeah, I'm trying to not make your audience miserable here.
No, they're not. But no,
But,
we've all had, like I said, the trials and tribulations. We've had issues. We've all had problems, especially in today's world.
Yeah.
It's easy to get down. It's easy to a little self-pity. But what's not easy is overcoming.
Yes.
And that's what I'm interested in. So you were able to overcome that. And
Yeah.
there's no magic pill.
Right.
But what were the things that helped you lift back up? Was it your
fun-
family?
Family, yes.
Okay.
It was learning on my own that despite being different,
Okay.
I still have a purpose here. I still have people from being on this planet. I still have people in my life who care about me, and all, God forbid, I did successfully make that attempt, it would just screw them up and make things,
Right.
more bad for them. Which is why I can safely say I will never be that low again with all the
But
recovery that I went through.
and we
Yeah.
spoke about this. Like with an alcoholic, they can never go back to that one drink can set them back on backwards.
Uh-huh.
And as being at that low point, is there anything that you're afraid of that could send you back into that? No. So it's not the same thing. It's not like
Well, other people may view it differently.
Okay.
But I've acquired, not to sound like a wise ass, but I've acquired confidence
okay.
through the, as I call the recovery process
Right.
from getting over, that stuff. You
So-
know, I still have my moments every now and then,
Yeah.
but nothing as
Oh, yeah.
bad as it was.
Everybody has them, but
Yeah.
all right. So, what's your high point? What gets you up in the morning? What do you look forward to? What puts a smile on your face?
Life.
Life, and specifically because we spoke about this, stand-up comedy.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
and when you stand up, I mean, you stand up. And what made you decide to? I think we mentioned you started at an open mic.
Yeah, so I had signed up for an amateur night at McGuire's
Okay.
Comedy Club, and because everyone who I was asking people beforehand, like, I'm sure you heard of Vic DiPotetto.
Yes.
You know, I went to see him live at Gulf in
Right.
Levittown and asked him afterwards, how do I get into this? And everybody I talked to said,
He should drive a school bus.
yes,
You know, yeah.
yes. He's another success story.
Yeah,
you know.
yes, exactly.
But guys like him, guys like I can't remember
All right.
who else. I
So when
talked
you
to.
when you got
But they all would. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's all
They would all tell me just go to amateur nights. You know, just try out
absolutely,
amateur nights.
absolutely.
And I told myself pretty much I'm not getting any younger. Might as well give it a shot. Because you ask everyone who knows me from dating back to when I was in school. You know, they'll all tell you he's funny. He's funny. He should be a comic. He should be a comic. You know, I'm not making that up. So I figured, might as well give it a shot. You know, but when it came the night of, I approached it with a very realistic expectation. You know, like a lot of comics get into the business, you know, especially younger comics who don't know how the industry works. They enter it with a sense of naiveness and this big delusions of grandeur, like they're going to be the next
Yes.
Kevin Hart in 2 weeks, you know. I went in thinking to myself that I'm going to let the audience be the deciding factor as to how I approach this. If I went up, said a joke, and barely got any reaction, then I would have told myself, okay, this is a bucket list thing. I tried it, and then I probably would have ended up back in the ring, you know, months later. Luckily enough for me, they did like what I had to say, and I did get a decent reaction, but it wasn't until I got off stage and went back to where the other comics were, and they all, you know, shook my hand and said, congratulations, good job, that I felt a sense of belonging that I hadn't felt in quite some time. And that's when I told myself, you know what, I can do this. And I've been going at my own pace ever since.
Wow, that's awesome. So, the Asperger's thing, the social problems, that didn't affect you. That didn't keep you. That's I find fascinating because you were standing in front of a lot of people who were judging you,
Yeah.
and you were able to just like overcome that.
Yeah.
But just by being positive, by saying I
course.
can do this.
Of course, I mean, I may come off like a grouchy New Yorker on stage, but that's just for the act.
Yeah.
You know, in reality, I'm just, you know, I take everything
You know,
one step at a time.
you've done a couple of my shows, and you're very funny, and,
Yes.
and the crowd really enjoyed your set. So
Yes.
I definitely kudos to you for all that you've overcome, and
Thank you.
and life is about overcoming, and it never stops. We're always overcoming something so that's an amazing story. You know, I'm happy to hear it and happy to meet you. And we have a show tonight.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to hearing your set.
Yes.
All right, Johnny. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I hope everybody's enjoying the show. We'll be right back. Hello, I'm Charlie. How are you?
Hi, Charlie.
How are you? So do you mind if I videotape you for a few minutes? Here we are. Oh. Look at this beautiful puppy. What's his name? Her name?
Her name is Susie.
Susie. Hi, Susie. Oh my God, how cute. Hi, Susie. Wow, you are adorable.
And she got her the necklace.
Is it a pure Chihuahua?
No, it's a Chiweenie.
Chihuahua?
Chiweenie.
What's that?
Half Winter Cinto and then half Chihuahua.
Oh, cool.
Or Dachshund, I should say.
Oh, yeah, wow. So I'm going to sit here. Again, I'm at the Riverwalk.
She's not gonna bite.
Okay, I'm not afraid. I live in New York. There's very little I'm afraid of. So, in San Antonio, you like to live here, but it gets very hot.
I love the city.
You love the city. I think you were saying people
Not so much.
are mean.
Yeah.
So people not so much.
Very,
So how do you mean that? That people not...
If you're not from here, they really treat you like shit.
Really? I think that's the way it is all over.
I've tried to get at least friends with them, and some of them are just really cold-hearted.
Disrespectful, right? They're just to themselves. They don't really want to.
It's not that they're just to themselves. It's just, it's like there's a world within a world in this place.
Right. Now, do you live in a place, or you homeless?
I'm homeless.
What's that?
I'm homeless.
You're homeless. And how do you manage to survive being homeless around here? Especially being people are mean. I would say that it makes it even more difficult.
It is more difficult. They won't let you panhandle. They won't let you do nothing. I can even make crafts that they won't even let you sell them because there's people that just block you left and right.
Right. So then how do you manage to live? If you can't even panhandle or make anything or sell anything?
Trash.
What's that? Just going through the trash.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been doing this? Going through the trash and stuff?
Close to 20 years.
20 years. And what led you to this? I'm sure you weren't always going through the trash. Just what? Depression. Yeah. And you take any meds for that, or you can afford the meds, or you tried and it didn't work?
I can afford them. It's a part of my life.
It's who you are. That's how you're wired.
I had a dream job.
Yeah, but you had
a
dream job.
I had it for 9 years.
And what dream job was that?
I worked in an art gallery, actually.
Where?
An art gallery.
Art gallery. Oh. So just what? Showing off, just showing the art, or you artist yourself?
I would frame artwork. I would restore it. Even the frame itself, it was nicked or cut. I would restore it to its original, glory. But they taught me how to blend colors. They taught me a lot of things.
Yeah.
I already knew how to cut stained glass by that time. I learned that in New Orleans. But
so how did it all go crashing down? What happened that you stopped doing that?
I got a groin injury.
A groin injury, and
those usually take up to 6 months to heal.
yeah. So you couldn't get help or assistance to help you?
No, the thing is, my boss replaced me within a week.
Replaced you within a week, so then you were jobless.
Not only that, I wasn't able to claim unemployment because he said he would deny I even worked there.
So you went in kind of a downward spiral where you started living.
No, I got depressed.
You got depressed, and then you started, and you became homeless.
I love that job.
You love that job. So do you see yourself overcoming this, and one day maybe getting back into that, or you don't see?
I already tried.
Okay, so what's your future look like? What do you think? Where are you going from here?
I don't know. Maybe I'm destined just to be humble my rest of my life. I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that, but you don't think there's a way you can turn things around and get back to where that place that you loved? I mean, you loved the gallery. Why give up on that dream?
Listen, I'm 57 years old.
Okay, that's still young by today's standards.
And I may not look it, but my joints hurt. I got arthritis. You know? I got the regular aches and pains of an older gentleman. I'm not a walker on it per se. But,
Right.
I do feel it.
Right. So you live day to day, just going through the garbage. Is that your little where you keep all your belongings? Is that all your belongings right there?
Yeah, it's all my belongings.
Wow.
Actually, it's her belongings.
It's her belongings.
Yeah, most of it's hers.
Hello, you sleeping?
Yeah, she's asleep. Susie, the man's talking to you.
Hi, Susie. Susie. Hello, you are one pretty dog. So do you often go? You like the river walk? I mean, is it like the people coming back and forth?
I like the water.
You like the water?
Yeah.
You ever think of living closer to the water? Because it's like.
I have lived closer to the
Yeah,
water. I
yeah.
used to live in South Padre Island.
Oh wow, that's high class over there, right?
Yeah, well, I used to work on the island.
I used to work there. And
I've done a lot of different jobs in my life. A lot of them.
so part of the reason why you don't feel you can get back to work is because you have depression, you have physical issues, right? The mental issues, physical issues. There's no way to turn for help.
I don't have physical issues anymore.
I think you have arthritis, though. You mentioned.
Arthritis is
It's not that. It's not.
That's something you complain about.
Okay.
Well,
It's
that's not the way
okay.
I was
It's not
raised.
debilitating. Okay. It's not debilitating, but it's a nuisance.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't.
So the major thing with you is depression. You mentioned depression.
Yeah, I sometimes get depressed. I worry about too many people that don't worry about me.
There you go. There
That's
you
the
go.
problem.
Common.
I'm too busy trying to help people.
So even though in this state of homelessness, you still try to help people when you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way I was raised.
Right. Exactly. But do you think you would be in a better position to help people if you weren't in this position?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But could that be motivation for you to? Could that be motivation for you to get out of this position? To say, look, I could do a lot more for society, which seems like, yeah. Are you on any kind of like drugs or anything like that? Yeah. For your depression, or just like drugs off the street kind of thing?
Drugs off the street.
Drugs off. And what kind?
Now I am.
What's your drug of preference?
Not preference. It's just
Okay.
something I do.
Something you're addicted to stuff? What are you addicted to mostly?
Meth.
Methamphetamines. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't do it like to get high. I just do it
To cope.
yeah, pretty much.
To cope.
That's how I self-medicated myself.
Yeah.
Which my parents also kind of apologized to me because they realized that I was ADHD.
ADHD too.
Yeah, because I was a very hyperactive kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for some reason, this drug makes me
Right.
more.
So let me ask you, where do you get the money to buy this drug if you don't have a job and you just get garbage?
Well, when normally I'm digging through the trash, I find certain items that I fix.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
So you have these talents then. You take
yeah, I
garbage
do.
and you fix them up. So you have these
Yeah,
talents.
I've taught myself. Well, like I said, I've had a lot of jobs. Right now, I have a computer I have to fix. I have a Wii I have to find the cord for.
What are some of the things you have in there?
Huh?
What are some of the things that you own?
See, I trade with other people.
You trade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For things, you know, like a hair dryer. That's how I
Hair
dry. That's how I dry my clothes. You know.
Okay.
The computer I'm fixing.
There
If
you go.
somebody
That's
messed
the
up
computer you found in the
battery,
garbage and you're gonna fix
yeah.
and maybe sell it.
And I have this Wii U.
Yeah.
I don't have a cord for it.
You don't have a cord for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And as far as food, what do you do for food?
I also have a Bluetooth speaker that I'm still fixing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And what do you have?
Food, there's resources for that.
There's resources.
Yeah, and there's people that always give me food.
Right.
You know, regular people that know me.
Right. So that stuff you hold in your hand now, what is that?
These are beads.
Just beads. What are
Yeah,
they-
somebody gave them to, like I said, somebody gave them to me.
Right.
They gave them to me this morning,
Gave them to you this morning.
and yeah, they have like little holes in them. But I think they're defective because they only have holes on one side, not the other.
Ah. You were gonna make like a necklace out of that. Maybe try to sell
yeah, I
that.
was gonna try.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to make a necklace and yeah, sell them.
Wow.
But as I was grabbing that wire, it's stainless steel.
Ah,
It's
there you
aluminum
go.
Also, I also have aluminum on there.
And then you want to make a necklace with that wire.
That way, aluminum or stainless steel, they don't stain you.
Right. Right.
It'll be a cheap necklace, but it'll still look nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be nice. Doesn't have to be a perfect.
Right. So where do you see yourself 5-10 years from now? Not doing the same thing, right?
I don't see myself at all.
You don't see yourself at all.
I don't.
You don't see a future.
I don't see my future.
That's sad because
I can imagine other people's futures,
But
just
not
can't
your
imagine
own.
My own.
Wow.
I just live one day at a time.
All right. And you have no way to get in touch with it. You have no ID. You have no phone. You have no place you're living.
I hardly ever speak to my mom, my kids, my nephew.
You have kids.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3.
And they don't reach out to you, or they don't. Have they tried to help?
They try.
But they
I
didn't.
don't let them.
And now you don't even accept their help.
I don't want them to see me as well.
You don't want to see them to see you like this. That's so sad. I wish there was something I could do.
Well,
Yeah.
this is a puzzle I have to figure out.
All right. I hope you figure it out. There's still time. There's still hope. There's still time. You believe in God.
If you have any food, that would be great.
You have a religion,
Yes.
and you believe in
I have
God.
my own personal relationship with God.
And what does God say? What is God?
God gets after me a lot.
He gets after you to change your ways, but still.
No, well, he more like.
So do you think the biggest roadblock for you right now is the drugs, is the meth? That's the biggest roadblock for you, that addiction you have to the meth?
That is not the biggest one, but yes, it is one.
Well, what would you say the biggest one is? Just people in general?
It's just me.
People just mean.
It's me.
Oh, it's you. Okay.
I'm the biggest.
You're the biggest.
Problem.
Yeah. That's not uncommon.
Yeah.
That's not uncommon.
I know it's me because I know I'm not well in the head. I've tried going to the hospitals and taking the pills, but I'm not the same person. I'm not. I feel like a robot. I can barely. The person who's me is gone.
Right. That's very sad, you know.
And my family didn't like the person.
Okay.
They made me into them.
Yeah.
I just quit
Yeah. Well,
because it broke my heart. You know.
that's so sad. I
Half
hope
my family missed me, and I'm right there. You know.
you're right here. Do they know where you are? So they know how they could reach out to you, but
I'm the oldest in my family,
you're the oldest.
and I
Well, there's a-
fight for them to even.
But there's always hope. No, there's
They
always
visit
hope.
me once in a great while, but that's about it.
All right. Well,
My brothers suck as brothers, for one thing. My sister died.
your sister
And
died.
They did not even tell me till 3 weeks.
They didn't even tell
afterwards.
until it was afterwards. Well,
My mother has Parkinson's,
yeah,
and she's coming to the end of that too.
yeah. Well, do you have a last name? Was Marty? Do you use them
I
last
have
name?
several last
There's
names.
several last names. How did that happen?
Adoption.
Adoption.
I was adopted, and my real father, really had no choice in the matter because he was in jail. I was adopted when my father was in jail, and he didn't even know about it. He didn't even know I existed.
Well, all right. Thanks so much. I enjoyed meeting you and talking to you. I pray that things turn around for you and that,
Well,
somehow, some way, you find God and God finds you.
No, I found God.
Yeah, yeah.
God found me.
Okay.
He even sends me messages.
He sends you what kind of message does he send? What was the
One
last
time
message?
I-
What was the last
this
message God
close to
sent?
losing my faith and just chunking it all, and someone just ran across the street. They told me, God told me to give you a message. He says, I'm still here. I'm still right next to you.
There you
I'm
go.
still walking with you.
There you go.
And
Okay.
he told me that don't give up.
That's it. That's
Don't
it.
give up on me. Don't give up on us. And then,
That's it.
by that time, I
Don't.
was crying my ass off.
Yeah. Don't give up, man. Don't give up. There's always hope.
And
You never know.
This is a stranger, a man that I never met before.
There you go. So not everybody's bad. Not everybody's mean. There are good
God
people in
renewed
there.
my faith in God.
Seek the good people because they are out there. You know.
Oh,
Okay.
I've met one for sure.
Okay.
She comes and looks for me, and she takes me to when she goes to clean her one of her condos. She
Yeah.
lets me bathe. There, that cleans it up. She lets me bathe and freshen up, and she gives me food.
Yep.
And that's so adorable.
Yep. No, there are a lot of good people. Go find
I figure
them.
that's something a daughter
And-
would do, you know?
Yeah, and do the best to get out of this, and I wish you well. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm going to end up with a poem that I wrote. Should I stand up? Okay, so I'm going to do a poem. It's called, there you go, Oh Mother. My mother, who was 88, last night was 12, making a fuss, refusing her bath. By morning, 88 again, complaining of every ache. It wears you thin when your mother acts 12, but it's 88. Patience must prevail. To stay sane, you keep in mind you were a handful once and hardly a complaint. But even that wears away when you're told by a 12-year-old where you can go if you don't come when she calls. So I sigh and try to cope and think of how it'll be when I'm 88 and behave like I'm 12, like I'm doing right now. Thank you, everybody.